saw £100,000 in my account, and I panicked because in her mind, how does a black young guy, financially I was growing, mentally I was still poor, and it took me a long time to realize I was practicing poverty so long that I didn't actually know how to prosper. But then this great opportunity came up called Uber. Uber is a genius business. Then I became an Uber driver. Dad's trying to convince me, he's calling me on the phone, Tobi, my neighbor comes out and goes, oh, wonderful. When you're done, can you come and do my hedge as well? And I said, dude, I live here. We gotta change the meaning of black. We gotta change the meaning of what it means to be black. We gotta change it from victim, slavery. Hey guys, I think you can learn a lot from a story, and what I've embedded here is a story of how I literally went from Uber driving to running a six-figure fund and making multiple six figures. I want to show you how I did that so nobody thinks this is magic, he was born with a silver spoon, blah, 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 blah. I want to show you my literal rags to riches story, but I've also left some lessons in there. Now make sure you hit that like and subscribe so you don't miss these videos. Enjoy, see you at the top. So I went from being an Uber driver to earning in six figures. I think in my brain, and I may be wrong here on chronology because my brain isn't great at storing all that, but it was like a year that my life really changed. But I would say it took many years for life to change. It just had to start in my mind first. Prior to this, I was in law school, and I was doing law because I'm Nigerian, and any of my Nigerians will know that you have to be a doctor, lawyer, or engineer, pharmacist. There's nothing else. I mean, Nigerians are so into it that even when we go to weddings and you're an engineer, no one calls himself engineer so-and-so. You get what I'm saying? You're just an engineer and you alone know it, but everyone has to know. So when you introduce your son, it's engineer or Lumide, and it's like, it's so unnecessary. But Nigerians are so into the title, and the honor is in education. And so I did that for my parents, I think. I studied law mainly for them, but it turned out good for me too. But when I left law school, the biggest dread of my life would have been to be in someone's office, working for them 9 to whatever time, getting on an underground train and do whatever. And at the time I wanted to get married, so I did decide to get one of these jobs. And it turned out to be the best experience of my life. I think the first job I ever got, I lasted in that job literally 1 minute, I think, and about maybe 30 seconds. And I'll explain why. Because the moment I came in, I thought, oh, this is what people do. Okay, so you wear a suit. I wear this suit to the Fish and Chippy. That's where I'm going to get a job. And I get this suit from TK Maxx. I'm standing there in the Fish and Chippy. The guy's from Essex. He goes, all right, all you need to do, get your fish, get your batter, drop it in there, bish, bosh, bash, and off you go, fry it off, done. And I thought, what is happening here? And he didn't interview me, nothing. He just threw an apron over me. He said, take all that suit, mate. Took off the suit, hung it up. And the moment he walked into the restaurant, I walked out the back door and ran home. I thought, I can't work for anyone. I just cannot. It feels like some people are made for it. Some people, I'm not hating anybody here, but I feel like it's captivity. I literally feel like unless you're working for a business or you're working for something that's rising that you can rise with, a job, I'm not talking about career here, I'm talking about job. I can't do it. Unless I'm doing what I'm made for in that thing, I just couldn't. I'm not made for it. And I often tell people there are different profiles. There's this great book by Roger Hamilton about the different wealth profiles. Some people are very good supports in life. Their job is to support. Some people are extremely good mechanics. Their job is to fix things and make things work. Some people are very good what I call norms. Their job is, they don't want to be spectacular or amazing or do, they just want a very normal life. They're happy being a dustbin man, going home, happy, excited about that. Then there's some people who are just extraordinaries. They're like, we call them stars. They were born with glistening eyes, meant to transform the world. And it's wired in them. And everybody is essentially a star of who they are. You just gotta be yourself. And I just couldn't do it. And I remember my first job was really good. I'll call it a career, because in that I went into that to use my skills. Business, communication, sales. It was in recruitment consultancy, and it allowed me, I was in Czech Republic, wanted to get married, so I took my life to Czech Republic, to a small town called Pardubice. Ain't no black people in Pardubice. Doesn't exist. Every day I was a rapper, a basketballer, or I think a singer, because they just seen black people on TV. So every day I was like a celebrity, and at first it was nice. Then after a while it got really annoying, especially when kids called me Biggie. I said, Biggie is dead. He's dead, and I'm not even as big as Biggie, but Biggie is dead. And they'll be like, Biggie, Tupac. I'll be like, anyway, so after a while it did get jarring, but I took my life to Czech Republic. I'm learning that. I loved it because this was not like a job. I'm using my skills. I'm calling people on the phone, I'm communicating, I'm taking rejection, I'm overcoming objections, I'm selling, I'm closing the deal, then they ring a bell, who's the top biller? I'm working to be the top salesperson, I'm earning my desk, because they call it earn your desk. Your commission allows you to earn the desk. And when you earn the desk, then they move you back to a different office or whatever office you want to get to. And I earned my desk, and I was able to move to a different office. And I had resources under me, and I love that. That was a great opportunity for me, but it was still, I was born to own. My brain goes, okay, like, right now I'm using this broker. How do I own the broker? Right now I'm writing a book, and I'm going to send it to a printer, but how do I own the printer? That's how my brain thinks, because I have a wealth profile called a Lord profile. Lord profiles feel like they need to own. They don't like using other people's services. So that's part wrapped up in my profile as a business person. But anyway, so I decided I need flexibility and I need time. My dad's trying to convince me. He's calling me on the phone, Tobi, because at the time I just decided I'm not going to have a job for a while. I'm thinking about, what do I do? I took myself to a behavioral unit to work with kids who the behavior was, wow. It was more like I was an exorcist every day. And I loved these kids. I grew to love them, but I'm like, what am I doing here? That was a real job that lasted a long time. And I did it because I actually enjoyed working with the children. But a lot of them had serious, unbelievable levels of problems. And that was hugely stressful. And I'd get home, no time to work on business. But I know there's a dream on the inside of me. So I said to myself, Tobi, you got to find something that allows for flexibility. One of my first thoughts was, be a security guard at one of these high-rise buildings. At least I get to sit there all night. I can trade and work or whatever. And most of them sleep anyway, let's face it. And watch monitors and screens, and then patrol and flick my key around, then sit down and learn how to trade. I could do that. And I thought, but this is so boring. But I could do it. And I'm looking at these jobs, and I thought, why don't I work in the police? I don't know what I was thinking about the police, but I thought, law degree, maybe they got some night watch thing going on. I can go out in the Met and beat some people up. And then during the day, I could learn how to trade. But then this great opportunity came up called Uber. Uber is a genius business, because you own a car, you own a business. All you need to do is get in your car, drive some people around from place to place, and Uber pays you. You are essentially self-employed. Okay, maybe you don't own a business, you own a job, but you're self-employed. I'm determined. If I want to make $3,000 this month, I make $3,000. I want to make $5,000, I make $5,000. If I want to make nothing, I make nothing. But essentially, all I'm doing is driving people around. I thought, this is genius, because I can drive them anytime I want. Anytime I want to make some extra money, I drive people around, and I have the flexibility to do business or make a steady income if I want to. People always need to be driven around. I thought, this is genius. So I went and did my topographical test. Passed it first time, very proud, and then I became an Uber driver, driving people around. But I start working on my business at home. This is what I tell people: don't make your side hustle your main hustle until your side hustle is are doing or equal to the main hustle. So my side hustle is the trading. I'm learning how to trade. I found this young kid who was teaching me all the ropes about trading. Still trading till this day. I'm trading even now as we speak. In fact, I'm in gold. I was in silver earlier. I'm in gold. I'm up $800 right now on gold. I want to close this trade out. I want to actually hold it for $5,000 today on my gold trade. It's just dropped to 200. No, it's back up to 590, 650. There, it's back up. So I'm learning how to trade from a kid who was making like 20,000 a week, and I'm like, how'd you do it? It's a computer game. All you see it as is a game. It's points on a screen. You win, you lose. That's it. I said, okay, I'm gonna learn how to be a trader. This book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, really changed my life. But I had delusions of grandeur. I learned how to trade very quickly, and suddenly I'm like, man, I should own a business in trading. So I decided I printed off something. Before I had this nice fancy office, I had a little desk that I bought from Argos, a little 100-pound computer. And I decided I'm going to create my environment. So I stuck on the wall a poster. And on the poster it said, Basilica Invest, open for business. Basilica means kingdom, and I'm Christian. So I thought, truly, let me make it Kingdom Invest. So I make this Kingdom Invest business. And I said, open for business. I get someone to design some logo, put it together real quick, and it's out there. And I did a video. My brother helped me film it. Nothing exciting. I think it's on YouTube somewhere. I'm not going to tell you where, but it's somewhere. And I left it alone. I'm a big believer. If you put good out there, what you sow, you reap. And I'm in a charity event, had no money to my name except for £1,000 that I was very proud that I saved up. And somebody needed that money in this event. And I said, okay, I'm going to give this money because I want good to come back to me. I give this money. An Indonesian millionaire calls me. I'm in my little house on my swivel chair. I got myself this phone thing. It's never plugged into anything. I just wanted to feel cool. I'm on my swivel chair and I'm like, and then my mobile phone rings. So I got myself a business number, and somebody called me in my mouse-infested, cockroach-infested house in Woolwich and said, hello, I am Indonesian, sorry about the accent, Indonesian millionaire. I see your video online and I want to give £100,000. I said, okay. You saw which video? The one on YouTube. I said, okay, I'm talking nonsense now. Let me get my company lawyer. They'll draft up a document for you. And let me get my my business accountant. We'll send you some details. Sure. And then I say, just hold for me a second. I put the phone down. I go, Toby, breathe. Toby, breathe. I'd never seen that much money in my life. Okay? And at the back of my brain, I'm most thinking, yeah, right, this is never going to happen. So I sent him some bank account. And I sent him some contract that a lawyer friend of mine quickly drafted up for me. And so within like 24 hours, I saw £100,000 in my account. And I panicked. I said, what have I done? Because I trade like 1,000. How am I going to trade 100,000? I realized, Toby, the same principles you do on this, do on that. So I'm trading it. Suddenly the account is growing. A friend of mine gets involved and I say, hey, why don't you take over the account? I'll train you. And I start a training school. Then three of my students get on that. Then we multiply the money. Now we're making 14, 15,000 a month, 20,000 a month, 30,000 a month. I didn't even know my life was changing, because even though financially I was growing, mentally I was still poor. So I was still like, you get the soap at the bottom and you fill it with water and you shake it. I was still like squeezing toothpaste for the last bit of life, then snipping the edge and swiping my toothpaste in to get the last little drop of everything out. I was switching off every light in our house. And it took me a long time to realize I was practicing poverty so long that I didn't actually know how to prosper. And that's where my life really transformed. And we moved from Woolwich to Windsor. I think when we moved there, people didn't understand how this young kid has this really nice house and beautiful cars outside. And I remember shaving my my garden, my hedge, and just dealing with this massive hedge. And my neighbor comes out and goes, oh, wonderful. When you're done, can you come and do my hedge as well? And I said, dude, I live here. I live next to you. And she was so embarrassed Because in her mind, how does a black young guy, and you know why I said that? I said that not to call the black race card. I said that to say, we got to change the meaning of black. We got to change the meaning of what it means to be black. We got to change it from victim, slavery, always needing reparations. I mean, we got to change it, you know, and we got to change the meaning to rich, prospered, kings and queens. We got to change the feeling and the meaning. All these movies that put us as criminals and all kinds of stuff, we have to change the meaning. I'm changing the meaning of what it means to be Nigerian. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. See you at the top. So hey guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have loved it, make sure you don't forget to subscribe and like the video. We want to keep you updated on the various things that are coming out here. But also, check out this video I've got on things that you should be looking to invest in around recession time. It may just help you. See you at the top.